order for you to become a go-getter, you must become a go-getter. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. And yes, that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, with that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest. So if it does not apply, let it fly. But most importantly, grab your pens, grab your paper, and be prepared to take notes. In this video, we're going to talk about what happens when you set goals and you don't accomplish them when you wanted to, as well as what to do moving forward, so therefore you can become a go-getter. We're also going to have some recommendations, some reminders, some disclaimers, and what you should be aware of. Starting off with the disclaimers, starting off with the level of awareness. Just because you set goals doesn't always mean you may accomplish them when you want them to. So what happens when you set goals and you don't accomplish them when you want them to, you must be open-minded. You must allow yourself grace. Unless you've accomplished this goal before or you have the experiences, you don't know what you're doing until you take action. You can have a plan, you can visualize, you can affirm, you can write it down every single day. It's not until you have the resources, you're being practical about your time management, and you're doing what you can. Because there's only 24 hours in a day, when you set goals, be okay with not always having control of the outcome, but knowing you're going to accomplish your goal. A lot of people get discouraged when they set goals, especially when they've never done them before. So like when you're healing yourself from financial poverty and you're getting yourself out of generations of trauma, and you've never done it before, and you don't have an example, you don't have a mentor, you may not have all the resources and all the tools, you have to take your time. You have to be open-minded. You have to become adaptable. You have to be able to adjust. Just because we write down our goals and have deadlines, sometimes they don't always happen how we want them to. You have to be okay with that. Why? Because if you're doing the steps, you're following directions, you will get there when you are supposed to. So you can't be discouraged. You have to learn how to become adaptable, which leads into the second thing to be aware of. Unless you have practice and have the experience, know the difference between your short-term goals and your long-term goals. And the reason is because a lot of people try to accomplish long-term goals, in a short period of time, not realizing that your goal may take you 2, 6, 20, 30, 40 years for you to actually achieve, compared to something that you can do, which is a short-term goal, within maybe a month, maybe 6 months, maybe 3 months. Depending on what it is that you want, you have to understand the longevity and most importantly, the responsibility. So I'm going to plug in my 30-day consistency playlist challenge. It'll be somewhere here at the top of the screen and in the description. And in those videos, I break down to you the who, the what, the when, and the why, because when it comes to being consistent, in order for you to be a go-getter, in order for you to be a go-getter, you need structure, you need discipline, you have to be practical, you have to use the tools that you have. There are only 24 hours in a day. The reason why so many people get discouraged when they have these goals is because you're overworking yourself, you're comparing yourself, you're rushing your process, and you don't know what you're doing. You cannot multitask when it comes to you staying focused. You have to take your time. You have to allow every single day, because every single day that you poured into yourself and you went after your goals is when you build your foundation. And that's the fourth thing. When setting goals, you have to be realistic about what you're able to do daily. Nobody says that it's impossible. Nobody's saying that you're not capable. But once again, if you're trying to get yourself out of financial poverty and you've always been not financially stable, you have to unlearn those thoughts and those emotions when it comes to money and financial literacy. You may have to get a mentor. You may have to become educated. You may have to do certain things. So you have to, once again, allow yourself the grace and allow your body, your mind, and your emotions to change as you're going through the stage, because it's a lifestyle. And that's where we're going to get into the recommendations. When it comes to you being successful, 99, if not 100% of times, the things that you want require you to change to a certain lifestyle that you want. So the fifth thing that you need to be aware of is that you can't compare yourself. Yes, you see other people doing the things that you want to do. You're not going to have the same reality as them. You seeing other people is the confirmation and the reassurance that it's possible and that you too could do it, but you're not going to have the same routine. You're not going to have the same resources as other people. So unless you're surrounding yourself with people who motivate you, mentors, educate you, finance you, or able to help you from their personal experience or in the process of doing it, you have to be mindful of the people that you listen to. You can't listen to people who want to do things that you're not doing. You can't listen to people who are not trying. You can't listen to people talk about you, making fun of you, trying to build an empire, trying to build a legacy, trying to do something, like I said, that takes a long period of time. Don't worry about what people are saying, because at the end of the day, certain things require a lot more energy, a lot more effort. Like I said, you need to know the difference between your short-term goals and long-term goals. So before I give you the recommendations, let's just give you guys a couple of examples. If your goal is to clean your house, that could be a short-term goal. Unless you live in a big house or you live on a estate, that may take longer than maybe a month to maybe like 3 months. If you're starting a business, that is a long-term goal. That is not something that's going to happen within 1 month. That's not going to happen within 6 months. If you're trying to lose weight, that may be a short-term goal. It may be a long-term goal. It depends on how much weight that you want to lose. You feel me? My camera got cut off because my alarm went off. But yeah, like, you need to know the difference between your long-term goals and your short-term goals. But if you check out the 30-day consistency playlist challenge, we'll break that down. Before I get into recommendations, this is just a friendly reminder that, let me just actually get into the reminder. Number one, you have to understand the responsibilities that come with your goal. That's what I was going to say. Like, that's how I was going to lead into it. But it's like, let's just go ahead and get into it. Number one, you need to understand the responsibilities that come with your goal. Do not say you want a house, but then not realize that you have to pay a HOA, that you may have to pay a mortgage, that you have to pay a water bill, that you then have to pay a cable bill. This is what you ask for. Do not ask for a car if you're not willing to get insurance, if you're not willing to make sure you keep up with your car, if you're not willing to get a title, if you're not willing to get registration, if you're not willing to put gas in your car. There's a lot of responsibilities with the things that we want. Do not say that you want to open a business, but then be upset because you don't have customers. Do not say you want 1,000 followers or $1,000 if you don't understand that you may not get 1,000 followers in a specific time that you want. Speaking from experience, I started this channel roughly a year and maybe like 14 months. Maybe like, yeah, a year and like 14 to 15 months. I'm still not at 1,000 followers, but I'm not sitting here, oh my God, I don't have 1,000 followers, I'm gonna quit. No, if you want something, you have to understand the responsibilities that come with it. Because if not, why take the time to do it? If you wanna be in a healthy relationship, that's a long-term goal, because you're constantly growing, you're constantly evolving. You want $1,000 now. $1,000 could be a short-term goal when, and that's gonna be the second recommendation, when you know how you're getting paid, how you're making things happen, which is the second recommendation. Hopefully that's not confusing. If you set a deadline, you have to already have everything, I would say 95% everything figured out. When people set goals like $1,000, if you know you get paid $500 every 2 weeks, then you could set that in a short amount of time. You could set a deadline because you know. But if it's out of your control, you can't have expectations. So certain things, you can't have expectations, which is going to be the second thing. You cannot have expectations when it comes to your goals, when it's out of your control, especially when it's long term. So like getting 1,000 followers, getting $100,000, starting a business, sometimes even losing weight. Let me know what you guys' goals are so we can come up with solutions. Some things are not always going to be in your control. You can only do the best that you can with the time that you have, with the resources that you have. The complaining and whining and crying about certain things not happening when you want them to, you signed up for it. And I'm here to be so honest with you guys. People love to be like, oh, I'm so transparent, I'm so real. Okay, you signed up for it. All that crying, all that whining, this is not what this is. So if you cry and you whine and you make excuses and you want to give up, send and share this video to somebody who's not. Because in order for us to be go-getters, we have to be what? Go-getters. This is a boss channel. This is for the bosses. And I'm not just talking about entrepreneurship. Every single day we have to show up. All my life I had to fight. You feel me? Because like I said, it's a lifestyle. It's who you're becoming. It's so much more than the tangible and the material things when it comes to success. That's what nobody seems to be talking about. So the third thing, The third recommendation, as you're becoming a go-getter, take your time. You really don't need to be stressed and overwhelmed, because it's just like, during this time of you and your preparation, during this time of you and your education and you being equipped and you being separated from certain people, places, and things, you're getting your flow. You need motion in order to be successful. You need motion. You need motion. You need stability. You need a foundation. And it needs to be stern. It needs to be strong. And it needs to be solid. Nothing or nobody should be able to knock your foundation if you take your time. Like, some of you all are not used to doing things brick by brick. And that's just what it is. And that's okay. Because as your favorite mental health specialist, like I said, I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to motivate you, educate you. And you're going to take what resonates because you like this energy. You like the vibes. You appreciate me just as much as I appreciate you. It needs to be said. Over here, we do things brick by brick, which means A through Z. 26 letters, the entire thing. There's no skipping a process. We take the stairs. So what? It takes long. It needs to. Because once again, when you're unlearning information, that takes time. When you heal yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically, financially, it is going to take time. You've been traumatized for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It's going to take maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It may take 5. It may take 10. It depends on, like I said, your time management. So what you're able to do throughout the weeks, throughout the day, throughout the year. It depends on when you rest, when you work, knowing when to rest, knowing when to work. It's a lot that comes with it. And you have to give 100% your all. You have to give 100% your all. You have to give 100% your all. Say it with me, put it in the comment sections. You have to be 100% committed. You cannot pick and choose when you want to do something. Like, you have to, people say give your blood, sweat, and tears. Like, seriously, I keep getting these notifications. You guys heard that? I keep getting all these notifications. Oh, it's TikTok shop. But anyways, it's no excuses. Like, you will accomplish your goal when you're supposed to. And that's how you know, too, when it's coming from God and the universe. Like, people be talking about, oh, I want to thank God for my blessings. And I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. You could complete a goal yourself. Versus when it's divine alignment, divine assignment. Which means all you can do is walk by faith and not by sight. But y'all not ready for those conversations. I'm going to keep it cute. But I said what I said. Like, healing is not for the weak. My content is not for the weak. You may be weak in the beginning, but as you subscribe and you keep watching these videos, you need to be taking these notes. Like, seriously, because guess what? As I continue to plant my seed, I'm going to reap what I sow. I'm going to reap what I sow. If you want to reap what you sow, you got to put yourself out there. You can't be worried about getting in the field and getting dirty. You can't be worried about people who are on the outside not doing what you're doing. You can't listen to people who are considered to be in not the same vibration as you. As people like to say, small-minded. I don't want to call them small-minded, but that's, that's what a lot of people say. Like, if you want to be, let's just say, an entrepreneur and you work for yourself, and this is not to discredit people who work for corporations, but if you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, you can't take advice from people who are complacent with living paycheck to paycheck. You have to be okay with, like I said, not making money for years, sometimes, months, sometimes. As long as you have the necessities to get by, it's not going to be like that forever. Like, you should be able to reap the benefits of what you put into. But the thing is, a lot of people give up on themselves because they're not willing to do the work. It's a lifestyle. Like, a lot of people think their goals are just going to happen overnight. You don't want that, because the same way it comes quickly is the same way it's going to go. Not just that, when you take your time in your process and you're not rushing, like I said, you get naturally in alignment. Like, you have to become the person that you want to be before you receive the things that you want. That's what nobody talks about. And a lot of times it's internally before it's materialistically. So if you're not creating certain habits, because that's what it is, that's the only difference between your future self and your past self and your present self, is the habits, is the choices that you're making. So until you know exactly what it is that you want and what it's required of you, like I said, the responsibilities, don't complain about it. And I'm going to give you guys your homework assignment, and that's going to be your challenge in this video, because once again, we motivate, we educate, we inform. We're going to make it entertaining, but we need to do the work first. Okay, there's a time and place when you have fun. There's a time and place you have time to be serious and work. Your homework assignment is to figure out what responsibilities, what choices do you need to start making to the goals that you want to accomplish. So if your goal is to lose weight, because I know a lot of people's goal is to lose weight, I'm also on that goal to lose weight. What are the choices do we need to start making today in order for us to lose weight over time? So for example, maybe not eating fast food, maybe dieting on certain foods, maybe cutting off certain foods. Maybe if you eat fast food, let's just say throughout the month, maybe you only eat fast food maybe twice a month, 3 times a month, whatever that looks like for you. And most importantly, before I end off the video, know when to rest. You're trying to overwork yourself. That's why a lot of people are burnt out. And that's another topic within itself. A lot of people are burnt out because you're trying to do a train. You cannot do a train task in a day. I don't care who you are. Unless you have a foundation where your money works for you, you have to put in the work first. You do have to do one thing at a time. Like, you guys, I don't multitask. I'm old school, very traditional, but that's how you get to where you need. Now, like I said, unless you have everything to where you got it like that, where you could do that. But most people that are able to have their businesses work for them have a foundation. If your foundation is out, like if you're not successful in one thing, how do you expect to be successful in another? You feel me? So it's like, know when to rest so you don't burn yourself out and you're not complaining, you don't give up on yourself, and know when to enjoy yourself. So thank you guys for liking this video. Like always, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for giving this video a big thumbs up. Thank you for turning on your post notifications. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following me on all my social media platforms. They're all down in the description box below. Okay, thank you, clock it. Okay, y'all. As well as booking your service in your session. My website is in the description, as well as my page with the link. Excuse me. Thought I had a burp, as well as all my other social media platforms. Follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, because I go live and have been going live recently for the past month of September. This is when I'm posting this, answering you guys' questions, comments, concerns. If you don't book your service in your session, or you didn't let me know in the comment section or on your notes or in the next video when you see this, as well as DM me on Instagram if maybe you just need to chit chat and, you know, yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end off the video. I just started to look at my phone. But in order for you to be a go-getter, you gotta be a go-getter. And over here, we don't make excuses, and we're not giving up on ourselves, and we're gonna take our time, and we don't care about what people gotta say, because at the end of the day, nobody is financing me, feeding me, or pouring into me. And if they're not doing the same for you, they're not taking care of you, which you don't want to be dependent on anybody. It doesn't matter. Let them think what they want to think, because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, even by the end of this year, things can change. Like I said, you have to be open. You have to be flexible. You have to be adaptable. But most importantly, just take your time. You don't have to rush. Okay? Love you. Bye.